You can't hold me down. 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 You can't hold me.
I'm gonna let you guys watch me install an inside door. I use shims, a few screws, the drill, screwdriver for the handle, hammer and a chisel, and a pencil. I just did one here, so I'm gonna mount it to the wall, shim it, and get it where it shuts decent. So you can do a lot more shimming than I am. I'm gonna come back with door foam, and I do all my foaming, and that'll push, for example, this down just a hair, but you can put more shims in there. And then I also chiseled this out. So I'm gonna let you guys watch me as I do that. Alright, for most of you guys that don't know, I'm not a professional door installer. I just do it when I need to do it. So, definitely not claiming to be a professional, but this beats paying someone else to do it. So the first thing I do is I'm going to get it in there. It's somewhat flushed. And then my main focus is this right here, because this is where the hinges are. So I already know this is straight. If not, you need to make sure it's straight, but I'm going to screw it straight through this stud, and I'm not using any shims on this. I'm just going to go right to it. So when I do that, it's going to sink this over to the wall, and I'm just trying to make this door and drywall flush, so when the trim goes back over top of it. There's tons of ways that people can do this. Some people use nails. Mine are in rentals, so the doors get banged up more than most people's homes do. You get like tenants in here fighting, slamming doors, kids slamming doors, and a lot of times they don't care about the door as much as they would if it was theirs. But I really like this being very firm to that wall. That's where all that banging is going to be happening at. Again, you can use nails so you can't see the screw hole, but I honestly don't think these little screw holes are that much of a problem. And again, mine's going into a rental, so I mean, if you want it professional looking, get the long finish nails. The last door I just did was busted already, so let's see, I think it's that. There we go, never mind. On these doors, you just pull these and it kind of releases it. So if you kind of look in there, that is pushed down on the door. You just pull it back and it lets go. But on that door, it was already broken. All right, now, after I got that, now I got the door all sturdy. It's not going anywhere, it's in there where I want it. Made it look pretty simple, right? All right, now the next thing is shimming this to make it fit in on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably move you onto the inside so you guys can see me work better. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna keep you guys out here because I'm gonna be shimming it from this side, because this is the side I'm gonna be screwing my 3 screws. So first thing is finding out where I want that top at. So I'm gonna go ahead and shim this top. Some of this little wood shims. These things are like this long, and I don't really need them that long, so I go ahead and cut mine in half. Here, let's get you up here. You guys aren't seeing what I'm doing up here. Alright, first thing I do, which I already kind of explained it, but again I wasn't showing you guys because you guys didn't see it. Now I don't focus on this yet, I focus on the top of the door. If you get that shimmed in right, it's going to be easier to shim this in, and all that stuff just follows. So I want it to set like that. So that's going to be good. So I'm going to put these shims in there a little ways. And I'm going to sink a screw in there. Again, at this point, I'm still trying to get it lined up where that trim is just going to just a little bit. Should go over that. All right. Now we got that in. It's in there flush. Now we're going to this part. Now I come down and I don't worry about the rest of the door. I come straight down to where the latch is going to be. Now I want to shim either below it or above it. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to do the same thing there. Just find out how many shims I need in there. Looks like that's good. The reason why it's still catching is because of the element at the bottom, but I think right here is where I want this. So I'm going to go a little bit down, put my pieces of wood right in there. And go right here. Flushed. And then now I'm going to just go on down to the very bottom and do the same thing down here. This is going to hopefully pull this off that bottom door and just give it a little bit. Now you can see that it's just freely opening and shutting. That's what we want right there. So let's put these shims down here at the bottom. It's going to be pushed in there. Trying to stay out of your guys' way, but I still need to be in here a little bit. Might as well just open up that door and get on in here. Do it right there. Your shims might split. A couple of mine did. That's okay. You just still want them to be in there firm. And if they stick out, you still have to pop them back in there so you can have that trim set here. But so you can kind of see how good that door opens and shut. I can pretty much let go. Once you have that lock in there, it'll help close it like this and keep it nice and flushed. But that's pretty much how I got it. Pretty simple. And then, like I said, I come back and I put the house or the doors and window foam in there and make it really nice and sturdy. So I don't really need too many more screws because that'll firm that up. But if you're not using that, you can put another shim. I'd put another shim in here, and probably on the top. But again, I spray foam my stuff, so I'm not going to do that. Again, mine are in rentals, so I really like my doors to be really firm and keep that stuff really locked tight in there. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I cut this in there. Even with the outside doors, I don't know why they don't just cut that in there for you, but it seems like they never do. So here in just a second, I'm going to come back and I'll show you how I'm going to cut that out. All right, I'm using the bed and bath. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Okay, since these things don't come with that cut out, that's the first thing I'm going to focus on. So I just stick this in there, and I'm going to mark it at the top, bottom, and side. Sometimes I won't even do the sides. I'll cut this whole thing out. It just doesn't look as good, but I'm going to go ahead and do it this way for you guys. Sometimes it all depends on what my mood is, on how I do that. So you need a chisel. Put it right there in the center. Do it to the top, right there in the center of the door. Right now I'm just pretty much edging the outside out. My spot where I'm going to be cutting that wood. If you're trying to keep the outer edges like I'm doing right now, be very careful, because since that's going to be super thin, it might just crack out. That's why sometimes I was saying I don't even worry about that. I just take the whole thing out. You just kind of crack in there. So sometimes it doesn't even matter. If it cracks out, just go ahead and remove it. You're going to start carving that inside out. Get pieces like that out of there. Go back the other way. The bottom half done. Move it under the, or up to the top. see if that set in there that good. All right, pretty flush. There we have it. Like that. Go ahead and put this in there. See if it works. It's working. Now I'm going to go ahead and put these screws in. Tight there. I gotta take this back out and put this on this side. You guys don't need to watch that though. Alright, now I'm gonna install this onto right here. Sometimes what I'll do is if it's not perfectly lined up when I shut it, let's say this is just more on the bottom or the top, sometimes I'll move this up or down to adjust for it, but I just did it and it's actually perfectly lined up. put it in there, right in the middle. Again, the windows and doors, what I use, just this isn't going to expand it, get that door frame and everything out of whack. Picture I can get that in there. Should be able to, so. And if this foams, if you ever work with foam, if you ever drop it, it falls. It's best to let it dry and then come back and just do it. Like let it dry and then, but that's all I do right there. That's gonna firm that door up. So anyways, if you guys do it, definitely leave it down in the comments if this hopefully helps you do your next install of your doors. Maybe it'll make it easier, go a little simpler. I'm going to go ahead and now foam the other one. Again, for the inside, I guess I didn't mention this. For the inside, I'm not using this really to seal for air. I'm mainly to seal to make that door, that trim tight. And then also, when you guys leave that door shut. So if it does expand any, it'll still have that door shut that it won't expand past that. So. See you guys later.
Girl might want to see this.
He's gonna get his ass fucked. That's the boy does. He's gonna get your ass whooped.